Did you know that MSP pricing is a complete lie? And it's something that MSPs spend way too much time focusing on, and ultimately, it doesn't result in closing more deals. Because truthfully, your MSP pricing is a complete and utter myth. In this video, I'm going to be breaking down why pricing is a myth, why your pricing actually doesn't really matter all that much, but how to make it so that way the customer still wants to buy if you do want to charge higher prices. My name is Harrison Barron from growth-generators.com. We help MSPs grow, whether that's teaching you how to sell your services, teaching you how to get an unlimited number of leads into your MSP business, or helping you run your business with tips, tricks, strategies, helping you build standard operating procedures. And if you want to go out and check us out online, you can go to growth-generators.com/resources in this case, if you want to check out our resources. And in here, I know pricing's a big thing. We have a free pricing masterclass. It's about 45 minutes long. It does come with a free pricing calculator. I should probably make that as a whole separate download for you guys as well. But having the ability to learn a bit more about pricing is gold. I will also leave a link down below in the video description. And hey, if you want to check out our resources from the blog to the Discord, which is completely free, taking the podcast on the go, or if you're serious about growing your MSP, check out MSP Heroes. It's our all-inclusive membership. You work directly with me, coaching Monday through Friday, a whole CRM, website templates, lead magnet templates, and truly so much more. So let's talk about why pricing is this whole big kind of convoluted thing in the MSP world, right? It's confusing, it's irritating because there's currently no standard for MSP pricing. You can't go online, you can ask, you could find some stuff on Reddit about what people are charging, but that doesn't necessarily mean that's what you should be charging for things, right? And everyone has their own kind of pricing that they've built. Either that's tiers, bundles, an unlimited offering. Now, I've said this in the past. You should offer realistically two different things. If you want to do it, pick one or the other. Don't do both, right? You have a good, better, best, whether that's gold, silver, gold, platinum, or gold, platinum, diamond, or whatever you want to call it, platinum, platinum plus plus, platinum plus plus plus, I don't know. Or you have a one size fits all. If you want to work with us, boom, you got to get in at this price. But the pricing kind of gets in our minds because if we price too high, we're either going to lose clients or they're not going to buy from us. If we price too low, which I've made a video about this already, but it hurts everybody and it becomes impossible to make money. You run on super tight margins. It's miserable to deal with low pricing. And even if you win more deals, if you're not making the money you need to make, it makes for a crappy work environment and a crappy company. Truthfully, I said what I said. Don't come after me, right? But price is a bit of a myth, right? There is a right price for your MSP. But the thing is most people think that the right price has to match or beat a competitors by a little bit. And I think that this is where things really go wrong when it comes to pricing, right? And the biggest problem with all of this is clients often don't understand what they're actually buying, right? They know, hey, this person's going to help me and they're going to fix all my computers and make all my technology work. And while that's all good, they don't even know what they're getting, right? Think about it. When you go out, you buy something, you buy a car, right? You got to go fill out a bunch of paperwork. You know that you're getting something that has 4 tires, a working engine, right? And hopefully a full tank of gas, right? And it's clean, right? It's going to get you from point A to point B. Doesn't matter what kind of car it is, but you know what you're getting, right? Even when you have pest control, they come out, they spray, you know what you're getting. You're getting the peace of mind of not having bugs around, whatever it is. You're buying a new roof. You know that they're going to strip the old roof and put on a new roof, and hopefully it's amazing, right? But MSPs fall in this weird area where we kind of suck at explaining what we do. I know. Hear me out here, because even my wife still barely knows what we all do, right? But if we can't fully explain what we do, how on earth are we expected to have our clients pay us money every month if they don't really understand what we do? That's the craziest part about all of this. And clients care a lot more about certain things, right? They care about uptime. They do. They want to make sure things are working and are available when they're supposed to be. They care about productivity, response time, right? three, yeah, four, right? Security. And truly, everybody just wants peace of mind. When they're spending that crazy amount of money every single month, they want it to be, they just want to have the peace of mind that it's going to work, right? And they want to make sure that it kind of matches, not like cheap brakes on an expensive, on an expensive car. They just want great brakes on a great car, right? Quality through and through. So how do we actually show that pricing? And that's where I want to kind of pull up a little whiteboard here. Now, truth be told, I've done this training in our sales training. I've done this training in the MSP Heroes membership, but I wanted to cover it a little bit here and go through it. So I'm going to share my screen here, and I want to just talk about the pricing, right? And I'm making this super, super big just so it's easy to read. We have pricing and value, right? And if you give me 1 second, I'm going to fill this out so you can see. Alrighty, cool. So as you can see here on my screen, I have high pricing, low pricing. I have high value, value, low value, right? For those of you listening, it's high pricing, and low pricing on the left, high value, value, and low value on the right-hand side. And what's happening is most people think that they need to either be at equal or lower, right? So in this case, right, we want to make sure that our pricing matches the same amount of value that we're actually offering, right? That's kind of the most important part. We want to make sure our pricing matches that value that that customer then perceives. And in theory, you want pricing to either be equal or greater than the value that they are going to be getting, right? If you wanted to and you were like, hey, well, I'm going to charge a high price, you have to make sure that your high price matches a high value or an even higher value that would be here, right? I'm going to write an ultra high value, right? That's a U. Just bear with me here on my horrible writing skills on screen. But we have to make sure that it matches. Now, customers are okay with paying a high price or any price if it matches the value that they are going to get. And this is the most important thing where MSPs seem to be getting it wrong. Now, how you show your clients the value in what you do is totally up to you, right? That is the most important thing and probably the hardest thing to do out of all of this, right? But when what happens is if you're going to have unhappy customers, they're going to be unhappy because they're paying any of these pricing. Let's just use high pricing again, but they're not getting value or they're getting low value out of what you're actually offering. And that's the worst part about this. You have to make sure that that pricing matches the value. And how you explain the value will increase the ability to increase the value. So believe it or not, it's actually not that important as long as we can make sure that when we go through and we explain to our customer that, hey, our pricing is really high, but here's why our pricing is high. You're getting a really incredible value for what we do or an amazing value for what we do, right? An ultra high value. Right? That's the most important part. But what you can do as the MSP over here, and I'm going to just write MSP, you can increase that value. Now, that value could be your tech stack. That value can be the tools that you're using. Doesn't have to be the tech stack, but it could be people. It could be your location. It could be maybe understanding the industry more, right? Security, compliance, business continuity, strategic planning, VCIO services, forecast, whatever it is, right? There's tons of opportunities there to increase that value. So that way, when you're actually competing against another MSP, right? I'm going to just erase a bunch of this. If you're actually competing against another MSP, you can go through and say, hey, our pricing is a little bit higher than maybe their pricing, right? But here's the difference between us. They aren't providing the same amount of value. We're either providing a very high value to your business or at least a high value to your business. Where the other MSP, based on, in many cases, you guys have probably seen their, a competitor's proposal, they're giving you a low price, but at the same time, they're giving you a low value. Yes, maybe that's in your budget and that's totally understandable, but Nobody wants to race to the bottom when it comes to actual pricing. Nobody wins racing to the bottom. And I secretly love bashing car dealerships, right? Because at a car dealership, we've all heard it. Like, I got a good deal. I beat them up over the price. Amazing, right? It's kind of what I want all of you guys to do when you go get a car. I want you guys to get a great deal. But car dealerships have embodied this. Let's race to the bottom and see how low we can get the price, because the dealerships add almost little to no value. So of course you want the best price. But if the dealerships offered that's not what I need to do. Offered an incredible value, right? It would be so much easier then to justify spending a little bit more to get an amazing value from that car dealerships. That's what I don't want to happen to MSPs. If you're competing on price and racing to the bottom and not understanding the price to value ladder, it becomes harder to deliver your services. It's going to burn out your business. It's not going to be sustainable and help you grow. And sorry, I get super passionate about these things. And by the way, while I'm thinking about it, if you could hit that like button, subscribe button, notification bell. But the worst is you are going to squeeze all of your margins completely out of the business. And that sucks because you have to make money. Money is the lifeblood to business, right? Money solves pretty much every business problem out there, truthfully, right? So in order for you to grow and continue building a great business, you have to be able to make money so you can hire better techs, better software, more locations, better compensation for your technicians. All of that good stuff is wildly important. So how do we actually build? You thought I was just going to let you leave with this. No, I'm going to teach you how to build value. Love you guys. All right, you guys always watch my videos. Makes me super happy. Hopefully you leave me a comment and just say, good morning, Harrison, because these videos are usually up before I'm up. But how do you build that value, right? I love kind of waving my flag of what we do great. Show your stack. It's okay, right? It's your stack. Yes, can they go cross compare? Absolutely. But if you're confident that your stack is better than the next person's stack, share it. Share how you document things and why you guys are so quick and good at what you do. The tools that you use. Show that your service level agreement is better than the next person's service level agreement. Focus on your unique differentiators, because what you do is going to be different than the next company, which is going to be different than the next company, right? And you guys already know I'm a huge fan of social proof. Testimonials, huge. Proof of uptime, huge. Quick response metrics, huge. Anything that can show that you actually are the best MSP for them is the most important thing. Price is only an issue in the absence of value. And that is truly the most important thing for you to understand. You have to stop obsessing over price. Sell the value and sell the benefits that they get when they do sign up with you and pay you every single month. I encourage you guys to check out what you're actually offering. And is it clearly communicated to the customer that says, hey, this is what we do really well. This is why we're the best. And if you'd like to work with us, boom, press here, right? That is truly how you sell the value to your customers. If you guys have enjoyed this video, please hit that like button, subscribe button, notification bell. I am going to be traveling, so I'm not 100% sure if I'm going to be making more videos this week. I'm going to do my best, right? But I love the heck out of you guys. As always, I wish you nothing but the most success in your MSP. If you want to go grab the pricing masterclass, it is down in the resources area. Just search pricing masterclass, right? Or it's floating down there towards the bottom, comes with a free pricing calculator. And if you want to truly grow your MSP business, check out our programs, MSP Heroes. It is there to help you succeed. We have 225 members. I can't even believe how fast we're growing. And you guys absolutely love it. And I'm so beyond grateful that I get to be a part of the journey that you guys are on. I love you guys as always. I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye.